point of the schedule approaches. Next. It is another beautiful 103-degree day in the Valley of the Sun. You are looking at America West Arena in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, where tonight we have a pivotal matchup in the Arena Football League's Western Division. San Jose, their first ever 5-2 start against a tough Arizona team, and you can see as you check out the Western Division standings what tonight's game means looking towards playoff seeding at the end of the season. Hi everybody, welcome to America West Arena. Eli Gold along with Ed Cunningham. So happy to have you along with us tonight. And here we are now into the second half of the 2000 Arena Football League season. These two teams have already met once before, and it was one of the blemishes on the San Jose record that you saw that came compliments of the Arizona Rattlers. So now with folks thinking about home field advantage, postseason seeding, that's why this game is so important, particularly to the teams out here in the West. But I think for the folks who are watching this evening at Cunningham, what makes this game important is the matchup between two of the premier stars in the Arena Football League.
Well, if you've been watching this game like we have so closely this year, there are two guys, Steve Pappen for San Jose and Hunky Cooper for the Arizona Rattlers. The old warhorse and the new young gun is Steve Pappen, 206 yards all-purpose, 701 return yards. He is second in the league. Third in the league in all-purpose yards is Hunky Cooper. Both of these guys are one return touchdown away from George LaFrance's career return record.
But when you talk about team offense, you take a look at Arizona, and you have to know that no team in this league is better than the Rattlers. They are #1 in offense. Cedric Bonner loves throwing to Maurice Bryant, loves throwing to Randy Gatewood. They're going to be lighting this place up tonight. But interestingly, maybe the most intriguing part of tonight's game is going to be the line play.
Yeah, Cedric Bonner likes to be on his feet, and he's done that quite a bit. Under center, he has only been sacked once in his last 1,133 attempts. That was in week 3 against San Jose. San Jose currently the #1 rushing team in the AFL. Darren Arbett, the San Jose head coach, told us they have played well on offense for 4 years. We've played well for 7 games, so it'll be a good matchup this evening.
Bit of a difference as tonight we are set for a dandy of a Thursday night. Arizona off to a great start as per usual under their head coach Danny White. They are pointing towards another visit to the playoffs, but there is a new power rising in the West. San Jose tonight challenges the Rattlers. It's live on TNN when we come back.
They're not coming out. We're going in to get them. They're always hot. They're always sweating. It's a cat and mouse game.
We have some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant.
Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
Does this work?
When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful Ultra Dry form releases extra protection when you need it most.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on, Degree kept up with me. He kept me dry.
Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
That stuff kicks in and takes care of business.
Your body heat turns it on.
Book 'em.
Shoulder pads, knee pads. Now there's a new pad to keep you in the game. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin Sports Wipes. Get to those hard-to-reach places with the only leading brand that's so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Wipe out athlete's foot. New Tenactin Sports Wipes.
Instead of complaining about your in-laws living with you, surprise them. Send them on a nice long cruise. And then when they get back, surprise them again.
Dial 0 if I were you, stranger.
But I need to make a collect call.
But 1-800-CALL-ATT can save you a fistful of bucks. Aim right down the center. 1-800-CAL.
Most farmers and ranchers I know work hard, buy smart, and don't waste dollars. That's why for 60 years they've depended on Tractor Supply Company, America's best priced farm and ranch store. So if you've got 1 acre or 1,000, Tractor Supply Company will help you get the job done with low prices that are guaranteed every day. That's not just a promise, it's a way of life.
Arena football on TNN is being brought to you by Degree, the body heat activated antiperspirant. By Tenactin for tough cases of athlete's foot. There's Tough Actin, Tenactin. And by the Yellow Pages. Get an idea. Welcome back. Glad you're able to join us here at the Purple Palace, America West Arena. And as per usual, third member of our broadcast crew, Jill Arrington, standing by with a special guest. Jill.
Thanks, Eli. I am here with Barry Wagner of San Jose. After playing with Orlando all those years, what's it like to come out west and play for San Jose?
First of all, I want to just give thanks to God for giving me the opportunity to shop around and find an organization that really appreciate me and that want to win the championship with my help.
Well, you're not just the only go-to guy tonight. You have a whole network of teams of receivers that they can go to. What's that like different for you from last time?
Well, you got to understand, with a lot of weapons, Steve Pappin, Jerry Reese, Jane Rowe, Shalon Baker, that's a lot of weapons, and that means the defense can't just key on me. And, basically my offense is not what it used to be, but my defense is getting a whole lot better, so I'm going to just go out and have fun.
All right, well, good luck tonight. Back to you, Eli.
Hi, Jill. Thank you. There is Darren Arbett, an original member of the SaberCats in his second season as their head coach. He's opposed by Danny White, the former Dallas Cowboys quarterback. With a win, he would overtake Hall of Fame coach Perry Moss for second place on the all-time regular season list. Steve Pappin is the deep man, a threat every time he touches the football. And veteran Bjorn Nitmo, former NFLer, out of Appalachian State University. Bjorn Nitmo set to kick it away for the Rattlers. They are in the black. Glad you're tuned in. We're underway here at America West. Off the metal and then mishandled by Pappin. Out of bounds it goes. And that was the way to do a kick right there off the supports as the quarterbacks now come front and center. That is Mark Grebe.
Grebe, he's been spectacular the last two ball games. They toyed back and forth with a couple of different quarterbacks. Scott Wood was the starter coming into camp, injured his shoulder. Grebe was replaced by John Dutton. Dutton broke his arm. Grebe came back in and really proved that he should be the starter. His last two ball games, he's been the MVP on offense for San Jose.
Derek Chachere is the fullback. Quick release. Steve Pappin makes the grab, and we talked about him in the tease, how slippery he is. And there he is, slipping his way free across the 10 out to the 13-yard line. The San Jose offense, there you see, including the guy we just spoke of, Steve Pappin, #1 receiver and rusher, who holds 35 franchise records. And Lucas Yarnell anchoring that offensive front. He is a true center coming over to San Jose from the Houston Thunder Bears.
And Butler and Hernandez, two of the best rushers, so you usually put a pure center in the middle for protection.
To Jerry Reese, he'll make the grab up high for a first down, out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now checking the Arizona defense for you. There you see the starting unit: Ingram, Kenny, Evans, Hunky Cooper, and Bob McMillan. Hunky, the league MVP and Iron Man of the Year a season ago. Gatewood, Walker, and Doggett. Cedric Walker, 5 tackles for losses. He is tied for #1 in the league. He's a one-man wrecking crew, and Cedric is.
He's tied with Howard Butler, the defensive lineman from San Jose.
On a first down play, Grebe gets hit as he throws and throws it away into the seats for a souvenir. Bob McMillan was the guy who came charging through with the pass intended for Barry Wagner. And Barry said to me this morning, he said, "You'd better say hello to my mom, Maddie. She's watching in Greensboro, Alabama."
Or we're in big trouble, huh?
And he said, "And say hello to my fiance, Linnea James, in Wildwood, Florida. They get married September 16th. So Barry doesn't have to tackle me now. I've done my job for him.
So you're safe to go to the field after
safe
the game.
to go down and say, hey.
Grieve off to a nice start. They're throwing some underneath stuff. The new offensive coordinator took over with 6 games left in last year's campaign. Terry Malley spent some time with him, trying to get his quarterback settled down here.
Reese in motion. On a 2nd and 10, looking for Reese. High over his hands. Doggett with the stop. Cecil Doggett. And that's one of the many. Remember when we were here a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
How they were throwing in Doggett's direction each and every time out, the LA Avengers were.
Jerry Reese one-on-one, downfield. Doggett in great position. This ball got away a little bit on Grieve. That's why it was floating. And in arena football, when it's a bad pass and it goes into the stands, it stays there. That's a $60 souvenir.
Grieve, the quarterback, 80 of 150 coming in, 53%. And you see San Jose's 3rd down conversions. Pappen in motion, quick release. Wagner should have held on to that one. Couldn't do it. They played short with Cedric Walker playing him soft. And Barry Wagner, who is the number 2 receiver on the football team, unable to hang on to Mark Grieve's strike.
And that ball was set up to go to Wagner right off the bat if that throw is there. But Steve Pappen was running a deep post route on Doggett. If that takes another second, he might have been able to find him down the field.
A 44-yard field goal attempt upcoming for longtime UCLA place kicker Chris Saylor. Derek Chasseray is the holder. Hunky Cooper is deep to play it if it goes off the mark, which it does. Here's Hunky Cooper with the run back. Hunky Cooper to the 15. On his feet across midfield, and he's put down by the quarterback, Mark Grieve. Hunky Cooper gives Arizona spectacular field position for their first drive, and for that man, quarterback Cedric Bonner.
Bonner, one of the best quarterbacks over the years in the AFL, was with the Atlanta Falcons on their Super Bowl run in '98, came back in '99 to play in the playoffs, and he has been superb. He's 2nd in the league in passing yardage, and there's one of his fast targets, Muhammad Oliver, catching a deep ball against San Jose.
There are the numbers Ed was talking about. Man in motion, Maurice Bryant, number 19, looking his way. First pass, it's in there, then dropped with great recovery on the part of the secondary man, Terrence Joseph, who was a fine open field tackler. Joseph just did get a piece of that pass to Maurice Bryant.
This ball slightly underthrown by Bonner because Lucas Yarnell was at the feet of Bonner. If he wouldn't have had trouble around his legs and wouldn't have been able to plant, that would have been 6 points for Arizona early.
Terrence Joseph went to NFL camps with the Chargers and the Steelers. Couldn't quite stick. Ended up playing for the Scottish Claymores in NFL Europe.
Which begs the question, what is a Claymore?
I wish it was the Scottish Henways. I know what a Henway is.
A couple of pounds.
Exactly. There's a quick throw again. Bryant on the slant out to the 11-yard line. Barry Wagner there to make the stop as you get a good look at Maurice Bryant. There you see the Arizona offense. Bryant, number 1 receiver, top 10 in the Arena Football League. Ingram, Kenny, and Stacey Evans, first team all-rookie a season ago for the Rattlers.
Family ties. His cousin Ricky Foggy is a quarterback with the New Jersey Red Dogs.
There's a lot of motion at the line of scrimmage as the flags come flying in. Our referee tonight, Al Granado, heading this AFL crew. Make it 4 flags because Ed just threw his handkerchief up here also.
You get the feeling Mr. Granado did not want all those flags on the field.
San Jose's defense. Good group there. Sam Hernandez with 5 sacks in his 3rd year with San Jose. He's tough, and he will be in on the quarterback tonight. And Barry Wagner key in that secondary. 6 times All-Arena, 6 times Iron Man of the Year.
And has 6 forced fumbles as we have a little movement by Mark Tucker.
And 3 more flags come flying in. I believe this is where we left off in the LA Avengers Arizona game, was it
we
not?
were here.
False start, number 56, offense.
So Mark Tucker, as Ed said, the all Pac-10 standout from Southern Cal.
I remember Mark well. He was a teammate of mine, started next to me at guard when I was with the Arizona Cardinals. He had a little hamstring problem earlier in the season, was activated a couple of weeks ago.
Right, 5 games played with Arizona. An offensive guard while with the Cardinals. Bonner has time. Throws tipped out of midair directly into the hands of Bryant, who gets to the 5-yard line. The football was tipped by Mike Jones, but it was tipped directly to that man, Maurice Bryant. You got to have a few of those withdrawals from the luck bank every now and then.
Mike Jones is the rush linebacker, decides to read the eyes of the quarterback and does a nice job. The only problem is he's playing the wrong sport. This is not beach volleyball. You don't want to set it to the other team.
Oh, pickup of 5 on the play. It is 2nd and 5 now from the San Jose 6. Scoreless if you're just joining us. Pivotal matchup in the AFL West. Bob McMillan, the fullback, gets a yard to the 5. Mike Jones in on the stop.
Boy, Sam Hernandez is a fun guy to watch. The defensive end in his 8th year for San Jose. He leads the league in sacks. He has had 6 seasons where he's had 5 or more sacks. The first player in AFL history to do that. That time gets great up the field push and it just does not allow McMillan anywhere to go.
Gone about 8 minutes without any points in this one. You see last weekend where Nashville did not allow a point in the second half against Carolina? How unusual is that? In this league, very. On a 3rd and goal. To the back of the end zone, it's dropped. It's dropped by Maurice Bryant. Well, so far, we've seen Wagner drop a pass, which he should have handled, and now Bryant was counting the points.
Every one of my friends who has played receiver says this is the most difficult catch to make. Wide open in the end zone, nobody around, a perfect throw. Ugh.
I mean, nobody. Look at his
just
wide
have
open.
Too long to concentrate. Took his eye off it for just that split second. Sometimes those hands just don't work. And Bonner is not happy that his teammate Nitmo has to come out and try a field goal.
A 21-yard attempt. Nitmo 4 of 10 in field goals this year. From this distance, 3 of 3. 4 of 4 now. And first blood for Rattlers. So we've played a good bit. It's a hot time tonight here in the Valley of the Sun. 3-0 Arizona.
They're calling you. The places you want to be. The things you want to do. But you're not going to get there until you finish this stuff. That's why there's True Value. We get you in and out fast with just what you need for the job. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Garden Claw, one of America's favorite garden tools, is good as gold. It adjusts to fit gardeners of all sizes. Garden Claw Gold helps you cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed without being tough on your back. The claw's steel tines tear through all kinds of soil, even clay, bringing moisture and oxygen to plants' roots. And it turns weeds and leaves into beneficial mulch. Garden Claw Gold makes a great gift.
Available at Home Depot and participating Ace, True Value, and Do It Best hardware stores. Makes a great gift.
Bagel?
Free sample. Num, 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 num. We're open.
Apparently, the low-carbohydrate Atkins diet is more popular than ever. Come into GNC and you'll find a whole section devoted to Atkins shakes, bake mix, bars, supplements, even the starter kit. Sorry, Bagel Man. Atkins at GNC. Live well.
My memories of Texas, the grand openings.
The Spin Doctors.
Saturday night wrestling.
The Silverware.
The hot cuisine.
We even learned to speak the language. Get along, little doggies.
Even the vacations are bigger in Texas. So we'll give you a free Texas State Travel Guide, Accommodations Guide, and Texas Highway Map when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 65. Or visit us at TravelTex.com. You'll get the insider's view of Texas. What to see, what to do, where to stay. Free when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 65. So give us a call, y'all. Texas, it's more than you think. It's like a whole other country.
Back from break here in Arizona. Arizona leads San Jose by 3. And now for our superstar spotlight. If San Jose wants to get anything going on offense, they need to look to the SaberCats offensive specialist, Steve Pappen. Last week against LA, he caught 2 touchdown passes and rushed for 2 more scores. Pappen is also among the league leaders in kickoff returns and missed field goal returns. The Rattlers will need to know where Pappen is at all times and try to contain him to beat San Jose tonight. And now back to Eli.
All right, Jill, thank you very much. 3-0 is the Rattler lead. And there is Steve Pappen, of whom Jill was speaking just seconds ago. 4th-year player out of Portland.
Guys that I've always thought, I was talking about this league back when he first came in, and I've always thought he should have been an NFL-type guy, brought into a camp at least.
He's already run a kickoff back for a touchdown. He bobbles that one. And the touchback. I think the remarkable thing was talking to his head coach, Darren Arbett, who said there's really been very little calling from the NFL.
Yeah, he's that type of player. But right there, you take a look at the net. The reason that ball was blown dead is the railing that those people are sitting on is very close to that net, and it's not considered in the field of play. So if the ball hits that and gets a funny bounce, the officials blow that dead. If you were wondering, you know this game and you're saying, wait a minute, that ball came right off the middle of the net. Why are they blowing it dead?
One of the unique ground rules here at the America West Arena.
I believe that comes on the scorecard.
It does. Jerry Reese, the man in motion. Great looking, throwing long to Reese, who then gets hit as the football was short. It was underthrown. Then Muhammad Oliver obviously gave him a big old shot while they were waiting for the football to come down. That penalty really was a byproduct of not the very well thrown football.
Yeah, Grebe has underthrown.
Interference, defense, number 26, 8-yard penalty, automatic first down.
A wise decision by Muhammad. Just go ahead and get the pass interference, 8 yards instead of 6 points. But that's 2 balls. Grebe has had the ball flutter on him and underthrown, because Reese had a step. It was a little pump and go from the quarterback. Grebe gave the good pump fake. Muhammad bit on it. Oliver bit on it a little bit, but Grebe has had that ball float on him twice. That time it cost him 6 points.
Here's Barry Wagner. He's out to the 18-yard line before he is stacked up. This the resumption of a storied series that has been dominated by Arizona. It's unusual that the SaberCats have never won here in America West.
And I've called a lot of those games. A lot of them come down to the last-second field goal type of games. But Darren Arbett, you can almost sense when we talked to him during the week, the head coach for San Jose, it's like they want to get that monkey off of their back. And the players as well, the guys who've been around here a few years.
Plus, factually, you don't know if they can afford to drop 2 games beneath Arizona in the West with a loss tonight. Under pressure, Greaves going down. Grebe goes down as Kelvin Ingram picks up his first sack of the year. It'll be sack number 8 of the season for the Arizona Rattlers.
Kelvin Ingram's rushing one-on-one against Sam Hernandez. Hernandez is a defensive lineman by trade, and Ingram gets an incredible jump and body lean. 2 years with the Orlando Predators, and Kelvin Ingram was their leading sacker both of those years.
He's been to camp with the New Orleans Saints
and the Seattle
Seahawks.
His locker was right down the road from mine.
So 3rd down upcoming now. San Jose 19 of 42 coming in 3rd down conversions. Flag is down. Play unfolds. Wagner with the grab into Arizona territory at the 22-yard line. Cedric Walker makes the stop. But again, there is a flag on the play.
Illegal defense against Oscar Sturgis for shading on the center. You want to bet?
No, I've learned to bet.
Shading by the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And of course, San Jose is going to take it. The center He's covered up there by the umpire, number 33, but Oscar Sturgis lined up over the center, and when he jumped, although he wasn't into the neutral zone, he has to stay head up on that center before the snap of the ball. They cannot stunt or slant in any direction, and that's why that was called. But, of course, San Jose had a great pass down the field, so you're not going to blow that.
14-yard pickup. Here's the 1st and 10. Grebe looking, man is open, touchdown, Steve Pappen. Steve just beat Muhammad Oliver, and it's a 22-yard touchdown strike from Grebe to Pappen, and the SaberCats are on top 6-3.
Steve Pappen on the back side of this look. Jerry Reese runs the post down the middle, and Muhammad Oliver got spun around by Pappen. That's the first thing you notice when you watch Pappen as we look at him. Isolation, very quick out of his breaks. 5'10", 190 pounds, a pretty good solid guy, but just really makes a good cut out of his break, and Muhammad Oliver got spun around a little bit.
Grebe the holder. Saylor is the kicker, up and good. 23 of 25. Saylor is in extra points, but it's Pappen who is the hero for the moment. The Cats lead the Rattlers.
They come to us for many reasons. Because we save them money on what they need with their everyday low price. Because we help them solve their problems and get them back on the road. And because we stand behind the parts we sell with a warranty that's good at more than 2,500 stores coast to coast. Fact is, people everywhere come to us because we're AutoZone, the largest auto parts retailer in America. And there's just no place any better.
They're coming. Tyson, Savarese. This June, the biggest names in heavyweight boxing, Galata, Norris, are taking Showtime by storm. It's the greatest month in heavyweight history. Holyfield, Ruiz. With a fight every weekend in June. Beginning this weekend when #1 contender David Tua takes on Obed Sullivan on Showtime. America's #1 boxing network. Showtime, no limits.
Check this out. Go to some auto insurance company websites and try to get instant quotes and instant coverage.
Can't do it. At Progressive, our website is different.
You can do things at Progressive.com that you can't do at other websites. I got an instant quote from Progressive and rates for 3 other leading companies.
No waiting for emails. No pushy callbacks.
If we can't save you money, we'll tell you who can.
I bought my policy online in the blink of an eye.
Or if you want, call us anytime at 1-800-AUTOPRO.
At Progressive.com, I can pay my bill online, even add a new car if I want.
Even our immediate response vehicles are online to help settle claims faster.
More people visit Progressive.com than any other auto insurance website.
Those other websites might as well be called can'tdodiddly.com.
We've given the auto insurance industry a big upgrade.
Shop and buy online at Progressive.com. Not what you'd expect from an insurance company.
Welcome back, everybody. We are at America West Arena, downtown Phoenix. Busy sports night tonight, right next door at the Bank One ballpark, the Bob. They're about a half hour away from the Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals. They play baseball this evening, of course, being only 6:30 Pacific time.
If you hear a big crack off a big bat, yeah, it might come through here.
Maurice Bryant set the field the kick from Chris Saylor. Saylor, the 12th kicker in the history of the SaberCat franchise. Bryant from 5 yards deep, stripped up neatly as he crosses the 5-yard line. Barry Wagner with the stop. Hey, did you see that ball game the other day in AF2, the Arena Football 2?
Call that a ball game?
Quad City, the Steamwheelers against Greensboro. Did you see that? 103-3 was the final score.
What do you expect? It's 4 cities against 1. They should be able to do that. They should change the name to the Steamrollers.
Yeah. And look at that. Greensboro well, Quad City actually ends up with the pick 6.
That was a slam dunk.
103-3. My goodness. Reminds you of Cumberland in that 222-0 football game they were involved in years ago. There's Jai Hill with the grab out to the 15-yard line. Lee Cole in on the play defensively for the SaberCats. Cole's local from Arizona State. That's why, even though he's wearing the other guy's colors, the fans here like him.
And if you haven't been watching the Rattlers this year and you were a Rattlers fan and you're wondering where Calvin Schechtschneider is, and he's usually the go-to guy for Cedric Bonner and all the other quarterbacks who played for Arizona, Calvin is going to be with the San Diego Chargers when they open camp in July.
From their own 15, Bryant in motion. Bad snap. They had a problem with that earlier in the year. It is recovered by San Jose's Ken. Let's see, did Talanoa come up with the football? Who did? San Jose does recover the football. Danny White says, I thought we had cured this earlier in the year. Remember, against Nashville, they had, what, four mishandled snaps.
Well, this time, Talanoa gets a great jump on the snap from Brian Drummey. As a matter of fact, from that view, he looked like he got a little bit of an early jump. Drummey not able to snack the ball as Talanoa was right into his face mask. Doesn't get the ball up, and Talanoa knocks Drummey down, but it did look from the original view that maybe Talanoa got an early jump on that snap.
Now with Reese in motion. Outside, straight, James Rowe. He is to the 7-yard line. I'll tell you, turnovers this year. Interesting story when you look behind the numbers. Look at that.
San Jose very good with the ball in Arizona. The one big game that really hurt them, updated now to -3. They came to the game -2 on the year. But you mentioned the 4 mishandled snaps against Nashville. The only blemish on the record for Arizona was that loss to Nashville. They lost every one of those fumbles.
And a 66-46 Nashville win in that instance. 2nd and 4. Grebe, wide open, touchdown. Jerry Reese, he lost Muhammad Oliver for the 2nd time tonight. And Oliver has been the victim. That time it was earlier by Pappen, and this time, watch it again, Reese.
But Muhammad Oliver is going to run into a linebacker in his coverage right there. He runs into Cedric Walker. A good job of the crossing routes. That's one of the things you do inside the 5-yard line, because there's so many bodies compacted in that small field, is try to get some crossing routes. It worked to perfection for San Jose.
Chris Saylor on the conversion. 14-3 as we near the end of the first quarter here in Phoenix, Arizona. Jerry Reese, his 11th touchdown reception of the year.
You guys go ahead. I'll make the call.
No! Oh, come on, brother. Don't down 0. Wrong collect with 1-800-CALL-ATT.
What was that?
Brother, you better save yourself. You can save big bucks with 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. It's the same low rate every minute, everywhere. Now, come on, down the center.
Help me, please.
1-800-CALL-ATT. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
That was close.
I'm going no good.
It didn't have to end like this. Armor All Protectant. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine, it's Armor All.
Today we'll be making Mongolian beef with truffles tartuffe. Everyone, open your yellow pages under catering. End of recipe. Oh, what fun we've had today.
Get into the zone. Kick Action Friday. Will Zone Friday. So real, you can feel it. Will Zone Friday. Action that never stops. The battle you can't miss. Thrill Zone Friday on TNN.
How about this place?
Too crowded.
Or this?
Boring.
Well, how about here?
Too expensive.
How about here?
Not for us.
Or this?
Too hard to get to.
This looks fun.
I don't think we'd like it. Hey, what's this?
Oh, remember how much we enjoyed our trip to Nebraska? I made sure to get this year's travel guide. You know how we love this museum with those fascinating Great Plains exhibits. And there are so many outdoor experiences for children.
Hey, Jim and I could get in some golf.
It would leave Karen and me with time to shop. I'd love to take this fabulous riverboat ride.
And what an incredible display of fossils.
Did you know that every spring in Nebraska there are more sandhills cranes in one spot than anywhere else on Earth?
Okay, I'm convinced. Nebraska, here we come. Sue, I love you.
Of course you do, dear.
I'll go tell Jim. Be back in an hour.
Hi, Karen. It's me. You were right. We're off to genuine Nebraska.
Call this toll-free number for our free vacation guide.
Welcome back, everybody. The visiting SaberCats jumping out, taking advantage of a turnover by the Arizona Rattlers. Chris Saylor getting set to kick it away to Hunky Cooper, who is averaging 23 yards per kickoff return in the 34 returns he's had this year. From 5 yards deep, Hernandez, Hunky Cooper. That's put down by James Rowe at the 2-yard line. Hey, folks, hope you can join us on Sunday right here on TNN. The Monster Mile is ready and waiting. NASCAR Winston Cup's best drivers trying to tame Dover Downs International Speedway. 400 grueling miles. The MBNA Platinum 400, Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 in the morning Pacific time, right here on TNN. Got to get you to one of those races with us, Ed.
Just don't ask me to say that name 10 times fast.
On the MBNA Platinum 400?
Yeah.
Final play of the quarter, barring a flag. So we have a flag with 3 seconds to go, of course.
I believe they're going to get Oscar Sturgis for his second penalty of the game.
Referee Al Granado saying, Oscar, you're 6'5", 302. You can't hide.
Defense, number 55, offside.
He moved.
3-yard penalty, still first down.
He moved because Sam Hernandez pulled him. It's going to be the second flag against San Jose.
If the defense gets into the neutral zone and the offense moves to protect themselves the right side, and there was no question that Sam Hernandez got into that neutral zone. Had he not been in the neutral zone, that would have been an offensive penalty.
So the quarter ends on that play with the SaberCats jumping out 14-3. Bjorn Nitmo, a 21-yard field goal, then a 22 and a 6-yard touchdown pass by Mark Grieve.
Boom! Stop dead in his tracks. That's how fast Tough Actin' Tinactin Pump Spray works. It stops the itching and burning of athlete's foot dead. The only leading brand so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Tackle athlete's foot symptoms in seconds with Tough Actin' Tinactin.
Stealing cars is wrong. Hello, lady. But the way they do it...
You want to go for a ride?
Oh, yes. Feels so right. Gone in 60 seconds. Rated PG-13. Starts June 9th.
Most farmers and ranchers I know work hard, buy smart, and don't waste dollars. That's why for 60 years they've depended on Tractor Supply Company, America's best priced farm and ranch store. So if you've got 1 acre or 1,000, Tractor Supply Company will help you get the job done with low prices that are guaranteed every day. That's not just a promise, it's a way of life.
Arena football kicks off on TNN, and we're celebrating in a big way. It's the TNN Raise the Roof Sweepstakes. One lucky winner will travel all expenses paid to Arena Bowl 14, hang out at a tailgate party, and drive away with an awesome Chrysler PT Cruiser. And if that's not enough, 7 first prize winners each get a big screen TV and arena football merchandise. To enter, check your local listings for Arena Football on TNN, and then tune in. Beginning June 1st, TNN will call an audible and announce a secret word during each game. All you have to do is write down the date of the game you watched and the word. Send it in with your name, address, and phone number to TNN Raise the Roof Sweepstakes, TNN Station, P.O. Box 3567, South Prairie, Connecticut 06488. Or enter online at country.com. Don't miss your chance to score big prizes. Touchdown! With the TNN Raise the Roof Sweepstakes.
Welcome back, everybody. The TNN helicopter has put down for refueling, but it has not stopped the great camera crew from sending back some of those shots of sunset in the desert.
And the helicopter brought back some dinner.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hear that snakes do really well with barley and malt. It's a well-known local remedy. Obviously, that man is doing well with some of that.
If you get bit by one, drink plenty of it.
Welcome back, everybody, with Ed Cunningham and Jill Arrington. Eli Gold with you. Glad you're tuned in. There's the...
As the Flag Fest continues. Is it just us in this building, Eli?
I think so. I think so. Howard Butler, maybe. Let's see who is the first of many to move there. Oh, Al.
All flags for the same foul. 97, defense, offside.
Al Granado saying yes, it was Howard Butler, who began life as a fullback. Let's see what Cedric Bonner has to say to the guys. So now as they come to the line of scrimmage, Bob McMillan is the fullback. Bonner going long. Gatewood, nope, that goes 2 rows up, 3 rows up, and a souvenir. Wagner was the cover man, and there you see that $60 gift going to a lucky fan, and there you see the first quarter statistics.
And when you look at possessions to touchdowns, we always talk about being in the 70, 75, 80% would be fantastic. And the Rattlers really shot themselves in the foot with that blown opportunity. Brian Drummey got knocked back by Talanoa, fumbled the snap with Cedric Bonner, and it allowed San Jose to take over and score on 2 out of their 3 possessions. So that's really the difference so far.
Bonner now. Oh, football dropped by Maurice Bryant. What happens, Ed? You've been an athlete, though not a wide receiver, but an athlete at a level of this and above in the NFL. What happens when a guy's got great hands all of a sudden can't catch a cold?
You know, that one, I think he's kind of guilty of wondering who's behind him and trying to make someone miss before you have the ball. Great receivers make people miss. Bryant looking over his right shoulder that time to Terrence Joseph. There's nothing you can do without the football in your grasp, and sometimes the guys who are really game breakers, as Maurice Bryant has proven to be in his rookie year, sometimes get a little antsy when that ball's on the way, knowing that they can make someone miss and go the distance.
Bonner 3 of 7, 26 yards, and 2 have been dropped. That one's not dropped by Gatewood. And yes, it is. He has it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll still be Arizona ball at the 10-yard line. Barry Wagner came in.
And look at the hustle by Hunky Cooper. A guy in his 8th year in the AFL, plays both ways. A great jack linebacker on defense. This time Bonner shows why he's only been sacked once in his last, well, add up tonight, almost 1,200 attempts coming up on, because he moves so well in the pocket. That time Gatewood was running a dummy route underneath to try to get Bryant deep.
And you see Tommy Jones actually stripped the football while Gatewood was concerned about Barry Wagner.
He had the hand up in the face mask on the stiff arm and forgot to lock that little puppy away.
Bryant in motion from the San Jose 10. It's no one in the end zone except the souvenir hunter. Maurice Bryant was the intended receiver. Looked like he got picked off by Terrence Joseph. And Danny White says, all right, let's think of something else.
But, you know, when you talk to Danny White about Cedric Bonner and about that statistic we showed about the few times that Cedric Bonner gets sacked as a quarterback, he points at those things. Yeah. There was nothing open. San Jose did a fantastic job down the field covering all of Arizona's receivers. Bonner moves around in the pocket just for enough time to try to get someone open. Nobody's open. Get rid of it. Do not take a sack or throw the ball to the other colored jersey.
This time Hunky Cooper is in high motion. On the second down play, there's a straight for the Wood. Man, there was some heat on that throw. 10-yard touchdown strike as Arizona draws close.
You talked about the heat. Cedric Bonner's a big man, 6'4", 240 pounds, left-hander with kind of that sidearm motion, slant route to Barry Wagner. As the route goes underneath, clears. Barry Wagner, pretty good jump on the ball, but that's just a nice move.
And that is only the second time all year that a touchdown pass has been thrown against Barry Wagner. Those statistics, compliments of the Barry Wagner Statistical Service, who said, hey, you know, they've only thrown 1 TD against me all year. Barry, now it's 2.
From his lips to your ears.
To the folks at home. God bless you. 14-10, SaberCats.
Presenting the complete state quarter collection of the 20th century. Presented in beautiful, vibrant colors and available only from the American Historic Society. The new state quarters are the coins everyone's collecting. In this historic program, our country will issue 5 state quarters a year for 10 years. Each state will be minted for only 10 weeks and never minted again. The first 5 quarters minted in 1999 are quickly disappearing as Americans rush to hoard these prized coins. And with good reason. These first 5 were minted in only half the quantity as the newer states. Because they will never be minted again, their value could grow dramatically. And as the years go on, they could become very difficult to find. But you can have all 5, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut in brilliant uncirculated condition and magnificently colorized for each state's unique design. And to display them, our specially designed United States map with individual slots for each state's quarter. This complete set is the perfect collectible for yourself and a great gift for someone special. This collection is not available in any store, but through this special television offer is yours for only $19.95. Call now and we'll include our 50-state fax book filled with exciting information about each state. Due to overwhelming demand for these quarters, this is a limited offer for a limited time. You must act now to ensure you get your complete 20th century colorized state quarter collection. But wait, order within the next 10 minutes and we'll include a special bonus, the first quarter of the year 2000. That's right, the Massachusetts state quarter, also presented in beautiful, vibrant color, absolutely free. To order your complete 20th century quarter collection, display map, and free 50 states fax book, have your credit card ready and call our toll-free number. Order within the next 10 minutes and you'll also get the Massachusetts quarter absolutely free. Call now.
Cedric Bonner. 10 yards to Randy Gatewood. 5 plays, 46 yards on the drive. 4 minutes and 30 seconds as Steve Pappen is deep to field the kick.
Yeah, you got to start thinking about kicking this ball under the net or over it with that guy back there.
Bjorn Nittmo.
Not short. That's not a good kick.
7 yards deep. And they slide out to the 13-yard line. Randy Gatewood makes the play on special teams for the Arizona Rattlers. Mark Grieb.
Huddle up, let's go. Huddle up. Let's go. Let's go left, Z quick. Base hurricane left on one-on-one. Ready?
He has already thrown a 22 and a 6-yard touchdown pass tonight.
Hurricane is a quick screen over here to the bottom of your screen to the X-receiver.
Pappen, Wagner, and Reese. The men out there, and that is Wagner. Out to the 17-yard line.
And when you have guys like Barry Wagner on the other side, you have Hunky Cooper, guys getting towards the end of their career, but they can still make people miss. Maybe not quite the speed they had when they first came in the league, but you try to do different things to get balls in their hands. That time, you use underneath stuff to get the ball to Wagner. Quarterback comparison for the night. Bonner, not so great, but he's had some pressure on him. He's had a couple of balls dropped. So both of these quarterbacks off to pretty good starts. And Bonner not happy with the performance of some of his teammates so far.
Pappen going deep, but they go the out route to Reese, who'll make the grab. And Cedric Walker there to tie him up quickly just across midfield.
Very early on, you see what Arizona's going to do to take away Pappen. That's why Grieb had to come back to Reese. Cedric Walker and Cecil Doggett have the deep route, allowing Barry Wagner to be open underneath. They just don't want the speed of Steve Pappen to beat them down the field.
Pappen caught the 22-yard touchdown pass earlier. Now from the Arizona 23, Pappen again in motion. The give to the fullback, Mike Jones, out of Trinity College. As we mentioned in the opening, these two teams have already met earlier this year.
The Cowardly Lion was in attendance.
At the San Jose Arena, Hunky Cooper throwing a touchdown strike.
Cedric Bonner with his great movement around, throwing a touchdown pass deep down the field.
Arizona withstands that San Jose comeback bid. 51-42, and that's how we got to this point where San Jose's 5-2, the Rattlers 6-1.
27-point run by Arizona between the second and third quarters was a difference in that ball game.
From the 20 of Arizona, Grieb to Pappen, and he's just run out of bounds by Cecil Doggett.
Tackled by number 6, Cecil Doggett.
Mark Grieb going over the offense.
We need one. Go ace left. Now listen up, hold your water. Go ace left, swing lead in 4, on 2, ready?
Hold your water is a technical Arena Football League term if you're new to our telecasts. Do you want to explain it,
The quarterback is going to change up the cadence. He doesn't want his offensive lineman jumping off sides.
But that time somebody on the defense jumps. Kenny comes across the line. Darren Kenny, now is he drawn?
And that's a really good job by Mark Grebe. Hold your water is something you hear when you start playing football at the age of 10. Because when you change...
Contact in the neutral zone by the defense, number 58. Penalty results in a first down.
Darren Kenny called for offsides because the defensive line starts to get used to you going on 1. So the quarterback gives the heads up, hey guys, hold your water, I'm going to change the count. Well, he doesn't tell the defense that, so Darren Kenny flops onto his knees and gets called for offsides. You got to give Darren a little credit, though. He was an All-American offensive lineman at Lycoming, so not quite used to rushing the passer.
Division III, Lycoming College. Grebe, quick release. Barry Wagner does not get in as he's run out of bounds by Cedric Walker at about the 1-yard line.
Boy, but what a veteran move by Wagner. As he was getting driven into the subway board over there, did a really nice job of sticking that ball out with his right arm. And the official on the line, on the end line, almost gave him the touchdown. Watch as he fights with the right arm, sticking that ball out, almost able to break the play. And a very heads-up play by Wagner.
One of the all-time greats. He holds 63 Orlando Predator records. That's Barry Wagner, 8th year out of Alabama A&M University. Pappen to the goal line. He does not get in. He does not get in. Steve Pappen to the goal line. It was Bob McMillan and Stacey Evans to halt him.
And Steve Pappen was an All-American running back at Portland State. So they bring him in motion. And now they have a lead fullback in Mike Jones. It's one way that they get Pappen, who is the leading rusher for San Jose, more involved. Good fighting, no question. He was down before he got in the end zone, but that's one way you get an explosive guy at the football.
From the goal line, inches away. Not gonna do it. Pappen will lose back to the 4. Steve Pappen did not fool Kelvin Ingram. The big lineman out of Oklahoma State had that one zeroed.
And what Terry Malley was trying to do, the offensive coordinator for San Jose on this play, he showed the exact same motion that they ran the last off tackle to the right. This time it's a little counter action. Nobody is fooled on the backside because they went back left. The backside guard in the center have to fight to the left side, leaving Kelvin Ingram and Bob McMillan unblocked on the backside. That was really good defense on the backside by Arizona.
18-yard field goal attempt by Chris Saylor. Makes no mistake on that one as San Jose is stopped repeatedly at the goal line. But the SaberCats pad their lead at 17-10. We're in the second quarter in Arizona.
Hi, I'm Smitty. I guess you could call me a plethora of information.
For this, you're gonna need a blower, maybe a vac.
Customers look at me as the answer guy. If they've got a question, they need an answer, they come to me.
All you need here is a cordless push mower.
I'm gonna give you everything you need to take care of your yard.
Tractor, definitely the lawn tractor.
We've got everything you could possibly imagine in power tools, all kinds of stuff.
String trimmer.
I'm basically here to make sure the customer gets what he needs for the job.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Garden Claw, one of America's favorite garden tools, is good as gold. It adjusts to fit gardeners of all sizes. Garden Claw Gold helps you cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed without being tough on your back. The claw's steel tines tear through all kinds of soil, even clay, bringing moisture and oxygen to plants' roots. And it turns weeds and leaves into beneficial mulch. Garden Claw Gold makes a great gift.
Available at Lowe's and participating Ace, True Value, and Do It Best hardware stores, makes a great gift.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. You may be surprised. The medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers to help you feel better and move better. Ultra-strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
TNN Action Wednesdays are hotter than ever on Dead Man's Gun.
You know you're
a safe search.
Meet a traveling salesman with a secret life as a safe cracker. Then, on 18 Wheels of Justice, Lucky gets caught in the middle of a kidnapping. And the Magnificent Seven face a hired assassin. The action starts at 8 Eastern with Dead Man's Gun, followed by 18 Wheels of Justice at 9 and the Magnificent Seven at 10. Only on TNN Action Wednesdays. One hot night.
The Cunningham family is at the game tonight.
Yeah.
That's not them, but they are at the game.
Right.
They are at the game. Youngsters, oldsters, everybody in to enjoy a pivotal matchup in the AFL West. Had to get out of the heat. Today was a cool day. It was only 103.
Yeah.
But it was a dry heat.
Right. Thankfully, this is an ice hockey building, so a little easier to keep it cool.
Chris Saylor gets set to boot it away for San Jose. That last scoring drive was 9 plays, 34 yards, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, a low-scoring affair here in the first half. Hunky Cooper off the net. Hunky is to the 10. And that will be where forward progress ends as the football came loose. Downstairs amongst the crowd, Jill Harrington has caught up with somebody who showed us a little talent early tonight. Jill?
That's right. Only the best entertainment here in the Arena Football League. I have found Nick Sterling. He is 9 years old. He played the national anthem on his electric guitar. He is the youngest to be sponsored by Fender Guitars. How long have you been playing the guitar, Nick? For about 3 years. 3 years. What do you think about this huge crowd? Were you nervous playing out there today? No. Why not? You just knew the song, just went out there and did your thing, huh? Yeah. Who are your favorite guitar players?
Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Steve Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, and Randy Rhoads.
Well, you know what? You're on your way. The next Jimi Hendrix right here, guys. Back to you.
And he just ticked off a litany of the greatest.
Zone by number 99, 3-yard penalty, 1st and 7.
Mike Ulafali out of BYU, the guilty party on that infraction right there.
Bless you.
Mike Ulafali. Hey, little Nick was really great. He was so good playing the national anthem that when he was done, the players from both teams came over, really swarmed around him. You looked at me like I was going to make a joke. I mean, you gave me
I thought something was coming. Hopefully they didn't shake his hand too hard. He's got a bright future.
Nice young man. Here's Cedric Bonnet. Throws the strike to the 23-yard line. Jai Hill makes the grab. Spells his first name J-A-I. Pronounces it Jai. He's been around in this league. Las Vegas, Anaheim, San Jose. Played for the SaberCats, now with Arizona. Even had a cup of coffee with the Steelers back in '92.
So right foot, wing loop, 50 hook, that's post on 101. Ready? Come on now.
50 is a 5-step drop, so you'll need a little more protection, and they're going to have an X post. So if the loop route, which is the short route underneath, is not open, watch for the deep ball.
Hill is the motion man. Bonner looking, throws it too far as he leads Bryant a bit much. Mike Ulafali in all three battle with the guys who are chasing Bonner out of the pocket.
And let it be noted that a football is a souvenir. However, a Bryant is not a souvenir if it goes into the stands.
All right, you must return the players.
Bonner, a big quarterback, but he moves his feet very well. You know, it's the little motions that a quarterback makes, not the flat-out speed. Obviously, speed like a Steve Young or a Mark Brunell helps, but it's the little motions that Bonner makes. He spent time with Miami Dolphins, and there was none better than Dan Marino at those little motions in the pocket.
Heck of a comparison. Oliver and Bryant are wide. Hill is the man in motion. Jai Hill at the 15-yard line. Tommy Jones was there on the cover for San Jose, their number 3 tackler.
And here's where you start to feel the efficiency of this Arizona offense. They've been a little slow to start. They had the fumbled snap that cost them early. Right. But it's like whenever they need something, whenever they need 10 yards for that first down, it seems like they can just get it whenever they need it.
Danny White is in large part responsible, too.
I'd say.
Let's go right. X back. 12, X sideline on 101. Ready?
Remind you of the days when he orchestrated the offense there with the Dallas Cowboys. And prior to that, in Tempe, Arizona with ASU, Arizona State. Bonner throws no connection with the intended receiver, Oliver. And then there, a man using his head to make a stop. That was a strike right across the middle. We had talked earlier about the great offense. Look at those numbers.
The drum is getting shorter and shorter.
He's so effective moving the ball around. Danny White's been with his organization since it started. His 9th year on the staff. Was one of the guys who was instrumental in a couple of rules changes in the early years of the AFL. Really knows this game. Danny had his... We got another X-post. You hear Bonner talking about hustling up because the play clock is running down. But Danny White really a mastermind with this offense.
2 seconds. One, they do get the snap off. Took something off, and Bryant gets interfered with. The pass is not caught. But Terrence Joseph was the man guilty of the interference. You see, Bryant says he was holding me. It was kind of like a baseball pitcher taking something off that breaking ball. It kind of threw everybody off pace, and there was nothing that Joseph could do but grab on.
Pass interference on the defense, number 21. 8-yard penalty. First down.
5th flag of the night against San Jose.
Maurice Bryant is running the post route. Right at the end, Joseph had to pull himself in front for position and try to knock that ball away. That's why the flag was thrown. The referee from behind and from in front saw that happen.
If you're just joining us, we welcome you indoors to the America West Arena here in downtown Phoenix. Arena Football League action on TNN Sports. Eli Gold, Ed Cunningham, Jill Harrington. San Jose 17-10 over Arizona in a battle for the leadership of the Arena Football League's Western Division. And if you have not been with us for the first hour, you have missed many of those things. Handkerchiefs flying through the air with the greatest of ease. We have another penalty. Would you tell us on who?
In the neutral zone by the defense, 99. 3-yard penalty.
When we talked to Darren Arbette during the week, we said, what is the #1 thing you have to do to beat this Arizona team? You've already lost to them once earlier in the year. It's a meeting, the last meeting you'll have with them only halfway through the season. He said, well, we had 12 penalties in the first game. You cannot have those types of mistakes against this team. And they come right out, and before halftime, they're already halfway to 12.
And we are just seconds away from the 1-minute warning, which is what we have in the Arena Football League, as opposed to the 2-minute warning in the stadium played game. And they do not get the snap off before 1 minute.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Referee Al Granado saying the 1-minute timing rules are in effect, which means the clock will now stop when you are used to seeing it stop in the normal stadium played game. And he also reminds everybody how many timeouts remain. And in this case, you hear that both teams with their each team with their full complement.
It's nice to hear the official not say, and the penalty is on.
Yeah. Where were we? I guess it was at Milwaukee.
Yes.
Where they had a penalty on the guy who played the music in the building. Joe the DJ, or whatever his name was. I mean, we've had some stuff on this.
We gave him a plug. He's been working every day since on weddings.
Bonner on the fade pattern. Knocked away from Bryant. Great coverage by Lee Cole, the defensive specialist out of Arizona State. The fans thought there had to have been an interference call in there, but looks as though Cole makes the play cleanly.
From the initial look, it looked like Cole might have got the top of the helmet right there. The left arm, although he knocked the ball away, he did interfere with the head of Bryant. Right there at the end, you could see the head of Bryant move. The crowd around the back of the end zone there wanted to call. I can understand why the official didn't call it. However, they could have called his elbow hitting the back of Bryant's helmet.
From the San Jose 4. To the back of the end zone, no one is there. There was no place to run across the back of the end zone for Maurice Bryant. There were 2 defenders there. He wanted to cut along the back line of the end zone, which is 8 yards deep. He just couldn't get there. Terrence Joseph and Lee Cole had both occupied that running lane.
And this is where it becomes very difficult. Danny White knows as well as anybody, when you get inside the 5-yard line, very difficult because of all those bodies in the end zone.
Hey, backside rule over there. All right, you go to the back of the corner and stay there. Right, X loop, 52. Come on now, Y stutter. On 1-on-1, ready? Let's go.
Y stutter is a route where the Y receiver will run to the end zone, stutter his feet, and then just get an open spot.
Arizona 0-1 in 3rd down conversions. There, it's knocked away. Cole on the defense again with a pass intended for Muhammad Oliver. So Lee Cole the #2 tackler, who has now broken up 10 passes on the year, including the ones he has broken up tonight. Doing a great job.
And the stutter out just wasn't there. Bonner tries to force it in, and Cole was right on top of it. A good job of having body position. As long as he doesn't move the receiver out of the way to get to that ball, and Bjorn Nitmo has to come in and try his second field goal of the night.
He hit a 21-yarder earlier. This will be a 20-yard attempt. Nitmo is 4 of 4 from this distance. 5 of 11 on the year. Should be a gimme. It is. From 20 yards out, the Rattlers add 3 more off the toe of Bjorn Nitmo. Back after this.
There's something about that honey barbecue sauce. Hitting those 3 big strips of crispy chicken and all that melted Monterey Jack cheese hitting that sauce, and every bite tastes better than the bite before. Oh, baby! Maybe I spend too much time thinking about that new sandwich from KFC. Maybe not.
Get over to KFC for the new Honey Barbecue Crunch Melt. Hurry, it's only here for a short time.
It's that good.
It didn't have to end like this. Armor All Protectant. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine, it's Armor All.
ECW Wrestling in the Thrill Zone on TNN. With hardcore heaven behind him, Rob Van Dam vows revenge.
I'll deal with you.
ECW Wrestling, Friday at 8 Eastern on TNN.
Bob Vila tells homeowners how to get out from under credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and these are offers to get credit cards. It's pretty easy to get them, not so easy to get out from under the bills. How many credit card bills do you get each month? 3, 5, more? And how much interest are you paying? 16, 18%? Do you even know? And don't be fooled by introductory rates that only last a few months. You can eliminate those bills. You can stop paying that high interest. Here's how. Just call Home 123. The loan counselors at Home 123 will show you how to turn your high-interest credit card bills into one bill that's probably a lot less than you're paying now. And the interest may even be tax-deductible, unlike credit card interest. Imagine just one bill a month and money left in your pocket. So, if you own your own home, call Home 123 right now and discover how to get rid of all those credit card bills. Call 1-800-HOME-123 or visit us on the web at home123.com. It's how to get the money you need.
Welcome back to America West Arena. Good crowd on hand here in downtown Phoenix. Hey, folks, how would you like to go to the Arena Bowl? Who knows where it's going to be, but if it's here, you'd be here. You can enter TNN's AFL Raise the Roof sweepstakes, and you can win big. Listen for me to announce the secret word of the game, and you could win a Chrysler PT Cruiser, an all-expense-paid trip to the Arena Bowl, and a pregame tailgate party, and it's all very easy. Just send in a postcard or enter online at country.com. Send your name, age, address, phone number, and the secret word, and the date of the game that you want. Like today is June the 1st. Send it to the address you see on the screen at the Raise the Roof sweepstakes in Southbury, Connecticut, or enter online at country.com. The entry deadline is July 21st, and tonight's secret word is touchdown. Tonight's secret word is touchdown. Feel like
there's nothing secret about that.
I feel like Groucho Marx. Say the magic word, you spit $100. George Fenneman, what did they want?
There's nothing secret about touchdown, not in the AFL.
Secret word tonight has been penalty flag. Not the one for the contest. That is touchdown, but handled well. Happen. You're not going to arm tackle him. He's to the 15-yard line. They tried to haul him down. Ron Moran grabbed him and spun him around. Pappen just did the full pirouette and kept on going.
You know, the AFL gives out an award every year to their don't blink player. Steve Pappen has gotten it the last 2 years. And you haven't seen it yet tonight. He did have the 22-yard touchdown catch, but here's a guy that you really can't blink because you will miss him.
Jose up by 4. Everybody's going long, then coming back to the football is James Rowe. Rowe tries to outrun Cedric Walker, who grabbed a hold of him. Looked like he fell rather awkwardly there, James Rowe.
Rowe, a good-sized wide receiver. They picked up the flag that had been thrown, and Rowe is still very gimpy. Well, you know what? He's got a flat tire, that's why. Someone ripped his shoe off. Tough to tell with the Black Sox and the flag.
Foul, roughing the passer, 44 defense. Pass was thrown, 8 yards additional, first down.
So they'll tack it on at the end of the play against Bob McMillan. Robert out of Illinois, Benedictine.
I thought Granado had picked up the flag, but he was just picking up the rundown to call it because it was after the pass was thrown. It is tacked on to the end of the throw. That is a big penalty on Arizona and Bob McMillan.
Brings the football to the 9-yard line of Arizona, and we've got timeout as Mark Grieb is going to take his first timeout of the first half with, as you see, 22 seconds remaining. See where Damian Harrell went out with an injury the other day. New England's standout, broken arm against Buffalo, and he's out for the year.
Yeah, that was a guy that they could ill afford to use. Somebody Chad Salisbury really looked to as his offensive specialist.
A lot of interesting doings around the league. How about the fact that Nashville is undefeated on the road and only 1-2 at the Gaylord Entertainment Center?
Is it true they sent a memo out asking the league to schedule the rest of their games
everything on the road?
Right.
Yeah, they're 4-0 on the road, the Cats are. Only 1-2 at home. Coming up, Jill with the Degree halftime report. We'll recap what took place last weekend. Got an interesting look at Jerry Reese. He has a very interesting off-the-field schedule, and Jill will tell you all about that. We'll have highlights and stats of this first half. I expected a little bit more out of this game in that the scoring has been not there, really, by Arena Football League standards.
We're seeing a lot of the kickers, which is rather unusual.
Yeah.
Mark Grieb has actually not played a bad ball game. He just hasn't really made any big plays, and Cedric Bonner hasn't gotten a lot of help on his side of the ball. Grieb, a really good story, though. Came into camp as the backup to Scott Wood.
Right.
Got the starting job when Wood got injured. Was replaced by John Dutton, who came in against Iowa, played fairly well, then broke his arm, and since Grieb has gone back under center, he's fighting to keep that job. Scott Wood is now active and able to play, but Grieb has just kept himself as the starter with his play.
Joey Dozier in at fullback now as Grieb sets up and throws it away. Coming back to the football was Jerry Reese, but no chance to get there with Andre Goins having tied him up effectively.
And Oscar Sturgis was applying the pressure for Arizona. Grieb had to move out of the pocket a little bit. Grieb with a fantastic college career at UC Davis.
Yeah.
He was a finalist for the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is
Division II's version of the Heisman.
He threw for 3,230 yards and 25 touchdowns as a senior at UC Davis.
First action in last season was the win over Arizona. So he's beaten the Rattlers. Hard throw in, touchdown. Steve Pappen. Nice release and an equally pretty catch. Grieb to Pappen, 9 yards, the touchdown just prior to halftime.
And this is where Steve Pappen really reminds me of Hunky Cooper. Both of them have extremely strong lower bodies. This time the ball is thrown in. It's just a little crossing route. Andre Goins is in coverage and actually comes up and starts to make the tackle. But it's the leg strength and the stretch by Pappen that gets into the end zone.
Chris Saylor with the extra point. Not that that's an insurmountable margin by any stretch, but you kind of like 11 points going into the locker room if you can hang on.
Sweating like crazy. You got TV cameras all over you. The last thing you want is this white clumpy thing running down your arm. It's just rude.
We asked some of the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Degree Invisible Solid? What's that? I would assume it goes on clear, but I'm not sure I believe that.
When your body heats up, Degree Invisible Solid releases extra protection with a clear difference.
Right there. You see there's no white stuff? The harder I work, the harder it works. No flaking, no funk, no Klingons.
Degree Invisible Solid. Works hard but never shows.
After the match, there's a ton of girls. Gotta be cool.
On Monday, it was an eternity away. By Thursday, you could almost taste it. The weekend, filled with possibilities and, oh yeah, projects. Nobody knows where you'd rather be more than True Value. We get you in and out fast with just what you need. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
You've been a burger lover your whole life, but you're about to stray. Take a look at this new spicy chicken sandwich from Burger King. Spicy, marinated chicken with a crispy, spicy coating, topped with a very spicy mayo. Feeling guilty? It's not really cheating, if the burger never finds out. Got the urge?
Buy any large sandwich value meal and get a free medium frozen Coca-Cola.
Shoulder pads, knee pads. Now there's a new pad to keep you in the game. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin Sports Wipes. Get to those hard-to-reach places with the only leading brand that's so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Wipe out athlete's foot. New Tenactin Sports Wipes.
I wouldn't dial 0 if I were you, stranger. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
For the same low rate, every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
And number 1.